Their bread and butter? Illegal betting, protection rackets, street fights, and the occasional robbery. Think of them less as crime lords, more as violent neighborhood bullies, just very well-dressed ones. In fact, they were more obsessed with their suits than their profits. If Instagram had existed in 1900, you'd see fewer piles of money, more selfies in silk scarves. But as crime escalated, so did their weapons. Small revolvers became the favorite sidearm of Birmingham gangs. Easy to hide, loud enough to scare, and cheap enough that even a broke gangster could get one.
The real Peaky Blinders were led by men like Harry Fowles and Thomas Gilbert. Not exactly names to send Churchill running for cover, right? Now compare that to the TV Shelbys. Tommy Shelby. Cool, calculating, chain-smoking. His weapon of choice? The Webley revolver, a British classic. On screen, Tommy fires it like he's playing chess with bullets. Arthur. Oh, Arthur, the hot-headed brother. His favorite weapon wasn't subtle at all, the shotgun. Nothing says subtle negotiation like blasting the pub wall in half. John Shelby. Known for the classic revolver, but also loved a knife fight. Quick, dirty, and personal. Very John. Polly Gray. Never underestimated. Her go-to was also a revolver. Slick, stylish, and deadly. Notice a pattern? Revolvers everywhere. Birmingham must have been one giant sales pitch for the local gun shop.
By the 1910s, the Peaky Blinders were already fading. Why? Rival gangs, the Birmingham boys, for example, had bigger numbers, better organization, and, let's be honest, more firepower. The Birmingham boys began carrying automatic pistols like the Colt 1911. Against that, a pocket revolver felt more like a noisy toy. And then came World War I. After facing machine guns and artillery in the trenches, street brawls with brass knuckles suddenly seemed childish.
Despite their decline, the Peaky Blinders became legends. Why? Because they combined violence with style. A brass knuckle hurts, but a brass knuckle worn with the tailored suit? Now that's memorable. The TV series, of course, dialed this up to 11. Guns blazing, bombs exploding, machine guns on rooftops. Far from historical truth, but oh so entertaining. The irony? The real Peaky Blinders probably never touched a machine gun in their lives. Meanwhile, in the show, Arthur Shelby treats one like a garden tool. So let's wrap it up. The real Peaky Blinders, street-level thugs, dressed like gentlemen, armed with knives, clubs, and the occasional revolver. The fictional Peaky Blinders, criminal masterminds, armed with everything short of a nuclear bomb, dressed like runway models. Both are fascinating, both are iconic, but only one gets to order people around with that famous line, "By order of the Peaky Blinders." And honestly, thank goodness Instagram wasn't around back then. Otherwise, Tommy Shelby would have spent less time building an empire and more time perfecting his hat selfies. Birmingham, early 20th century. A city choking on smoke, factories buzzing, and crime lurking in every alleyway. And then the Peaky Blinders. Now, before you imagine razor blades flashing in the streetlights, let me clear the air. The real Peaky Blinders were not Marvel's supervillains. They were rough, stylish, and often drunk, but hardly international masterminds. Still, their story is irresistible. And yes, the guns, knives, and brass knuckles made it all the more cinematic. Because, let's face it, history is never complete until somebody pulls out a revolver and says, "By order of the Peaky Blinders." The gang emerged in the 1890s, born out of poverty, overcrowding, and endless unemployment. Young men banded together not because they dreamed of empires, but because crime was easier than honest work. And the name? Forget the Hollywood razor blade caps. That's a juicy myth. Razor blades in 1890 were a luxury. If you had one, you probably guarded it like your mother's wedding ring. The name more likely came from peak, the cap, and blinder, meaning stylish. So essentially, the sharp-dressed lads with caps. And what did these stylish lads carry? Forget rifles or machine guns. The early Peaky Blinders preferred knives, koshes, that's short clubs, and brass knuckles. Cheap, brutal, and perfect for a pub fight.